Hi.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to Alex Beyond Thoughts podcast. I am,
I'm so excited to be here.
yeah, I'm so excited for this. I'm like so excited that I feel like I'm going to trip over myself. So, if I mess up, just I'm new to this, okay?
So am I,
Um,
don't worry.
yeah. So, just for everyone listening, it is currently 7 a.m. my time, and I think it's what your time?
6 p.m.
It's 6 p.m. your time. So we are in a bit of a time difference and we are across Zoom. So if it does sort of lag, that would be why. Um, okay, let's get into it. I am so excited to have this guest on today. This guest is a powerhouse mentor that has previously been successfully running two businesses simultaneously while working on another career path. She follows her passions and embodies all things wellness and mindset. I am so grateful and so happy to welcome Maddy to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited for this.
Me too. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, for the people that don't know you, Maddy, would you give us a little intro into what you do from your point of view?
Alrighty, where do I even start with this? Well, I'll state the obvious. I am a mindset and wellness coach. I've been in this industry for close to a year and a half now, which is crazy. I also have sadly just closed my first original business, which was a makeup artistry business, which I ran for 6 years. I started when I was 15, which is just wild to think. And I also work part-time as an office manager. So I do all the things.
Yeah.
I'm just known to be a bit of a multi-passionate girly, but I love it. I truly do.
Yeah, that's so amazing. I think it's not spoken enough that we all have so many passions and we can actually do all of them if you want to. And if you have the time and the capacity, you can actually get to all of them.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I really want to get into like, what is your favorite part of your world? Like, what lights you up? What is you're like, okay, if there's one thing or many things that you want to speak to, what's your favorite part of your world?
I have so many. And I think, first of all, being multi passionate is one of them because I feel like, I mean, at least in the society that I live in, it's very known for someone to just finish school, go to university, study something, do the career, and that's the path they follow.
Yeah.
Whereas I have always known since day dot, I want to work for myself. I have all these things that I love. I'm a doer. So if I think of something that I want to do, I go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which can sometimes not be good because I won't finish things, but a lot of the time they end up being really great, which is so much fun. But I think my favorite part of my world is that I just take risks. And
Mm-hmm.
there's kind of that sense of knowing of I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever does, like we're just going to roll with it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in this day and age, there is so much fear around everything we do. Like we overthink things too much and we're like, oh, should I do it? Like, what if it doesn't work out? And
Yeah.
my mentor actually said to me, she was like, but what if it does? Like, what if it does work out the way that you want it to, or even better? And I think tapping into my spiritual side, which kind of happened when I was, I want to say 18, which was about nearly 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
That's when I kind of tapped into my spiritual side and kind of understood the whole, everything happens for a reason. The universe is guiding me, the universe is supporting me, and the universe will never say no.
Mm-hmm.
It's either yes, or it's going to happen soon, or it's going to be better than you imagined. And yeah, just having that self-trust in like everything you do is literally life-changing.
Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting because I completely agree, like 100%. Definitely on the fear piece as well. Like that's something I'm really speaking to in my world right now,
Mm.
that you can't just hold yourself back from everything because you get a spike of adrenaline. You're like, oh, no, that doesn't feel safe. Can't do that. Bit
Mm.
too scary for me. Sorry, maybe in 5 years' time. Maybe I'll build
Oh
up the
yeah.
courage like in another 6 months. We'll see then. Yeah, so I'm definitely a person that thinks if it's meant for me, it's going to happen. But I also have to have the full intention and the action in place to actually get there. And some things will just be a complete closed door. Like if it's absolutely not meant for me, that door will close on its own. I will have no control over that. And it will just be like a bit of a slap in the face sometimes, because maybe you're excited for it, maybe that you wanted it to happen, and it just, yeah, it doesn't end up working out. Similar to like, I was set on a path for so long where I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be in the medical field. I wanted to go to university, get my degree. It completely shut me in the face, like not happening. And I was so upset for the longest time. And it's because this is my path. Like
It's your
coaching,
calling. Yeah.
coaching is my calling. This is my path. This is where I'm meant to be. This is how I'm meant to be helping people, not necessarily open heart surgery, you know? so like these things will just kind of close as they're meant to and open as they're meant to, because I've been in the sort of coaching industry, mentorship in this world for 5 years, because I started out when I was about 17 and in a pretty shit headspace, and I needed something to help get me out of it. So I turned to coaching. And yeah, if I didn't do that then, because I was focusing on a degree or whatever at the time, maybe I would never have found this path. And it's just it really lights me up inside to think, okay, but what is next for me? Because it's already on my path, and I've just got a time collapse sometimes, and sometimes wait for it to come and meet me at the right time. And it's just so exciting to think about.
It's so wild that like, you know, we find this coaching industry and it kind of just opens even more as you look more into it. Like when I first started, I thought the industry was really small. And then when I first invested in a coach, I all of a sudden found all these coaches and I was like, what is this world? Like there is people making millions, like literally millions. And like, it's insane. And even just recently, I had a bit of a shift in my business, which I felt I was actually like making myself wrong for in wanting just to be a mindset coach. And I was making myself wrong for not incorporating wellness, because I love wellness. I'm like a little wellness queen. Like all my friends know me to be this person that I don't want to say has their shit together, but wait, am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah, of course. No worries.
Yeah, like my friends just know me as that kind of person. And once you kind of find that missing piece in your life that just makes sense, you're like, oh my God, like every door is open. Like you don't even look at the closed ones. You're like, yep. Yeah, we're just going forwards, and that's the path. And
that's it for me.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, I love that. Let's talk more to like your wellness side, maybe, because I really do love that all of your friends call you the wellness queen. So like what do you include in your like general wellness structure? What is important to you that you include in your weekly, monthly routine?
Yeah. So I guess I kind of found my true like wellness self when I went through a pretty shitty breakup, which was a very dependent relationship. So I didn't really know what independence was. So when I kind of was tapping into my spiritual side and, you know, journaling and meditating and doing all these things, I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to actually be like aligned with yourself. Like this is crazy. So I find it so important to give time to myself. I'm in a relationship now and we're both very independent people, which I love. So it's really important for me to also like, as much as like I nurture that relationship, nurture myself too, because why should we nurture every other relationship in our life and not your own? Because it all comes back to you. Like you are the human, right? So for me, I love going on like little dates with myself. I love just like working in a cafe or going on walks. Like I literally think that going on a walk is like dating myself. Like I love that. Like you can just romanticize anything and I love it. What else do I love to do? My skincare routine, I romanticize the hell out of that every single day. I'm a big reader. I used to not read, but now I love reading. So that's, I think, just more so being mindful and being more in the present and doing things to make me feel in the present, but also switch off from things sometimes. I found last year my anxiety got really bad, which I thought, you know, oh, I'm doing mindset work. I'm fine now. No.
Yeah.
Things come up. Things come up.
No, exactly.
I actually had this quote and it was, at every level there's a new devil. And ever since I heard it, I was like, that is so true. Because, you know, we think as soon as I get to this like part, I'm
All of
going to
my
be fine.
problems go away. Yeah.
All my problems go away. I'm going to be happy. As soon as
Yeah.
I'm making X amount of money, or as soon as I have this amount of clients, or whatever it looks like, you think it's going to be just fine, and it's not. So,
Yeah, because the goalpost is constantly shifting, and you always think, okay, if I separate myself from happiness, maybe one day I'll finally achieve it. If I separate myself from my peace, one day I'll finally get my peace back. And it's just like a craziness that we automatically assume, like, okay, one day I'll get there, one day I'll
one
get
day,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So yeah, I think being more present and like actually being really, I want to say like tapped into myself, and like being able to have a sense of duality where I can go through the things that I want to go through, whether it's anxiety, whether it's like mental struggles, whatever it looks like, but I'm still showing up.
Yeah.
I'm still doing the things I want to do. I'm still running my business, because like all these things are just extensions of myself. So I think that was a really big thing that I used to play in victimhood a lot. I used to be like, oh, well, I'm having a bad day, so I'm just like not going to show up for myself. Like I'm just going to lay in bed and do nothing. And look, no shame in that. That is fine. I do have those days some days, but it's about not making excuses and still showing up, which I think is where my wellness routine and my self-care routine do come in, because that's kind of my sense of normality that keeps me sane, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I fully get you. Oh, that's so cool. I think that's so important as well. Just like in this space to know that, yeah, you can do all the work and you can be working on many things, but you still have to take care of yourself. Things are still going to show up and you're going to have to deal with them. And it's actually okay for that to just happen. Like, you can't just magically cure anxiety. And as you work on yourself, these things that you had suppressed, or these things that you were unconscious to, they all start piling up on you in your actual awareness. And that's not a bad thing, but it is something that shocks your system. It is a lot of mini traumas and big traumas and things that you maybe don't even recognize that you even experience day to day. And all of a sudden you're writing in your journal and, oof, that just hit me. Like, that was something that happened to me, or that was something I went through. And it's just hitting me a little different today. And sometimes your body reacts by, okay, no, let's close up. Let's shut you down, go to bed, have a nap. Like, I can't deal with this right now. And that also gets to be okay. Like, you can't just put on your shoes, run out the door and think, okay, well, maybe if I just run away fast enough, it's not going to follow me. Like, it'll be fine. If I run fast enough, it's not coming. It can't keep up. It just doesn't work like that. And I think it's so important.
It would be nice.
No, exactly. And I just think it's so nice that we can actually truly speak to that in an honest way that, okay, yeah, I face anxiety, but it doesn't stop me showing up in my business. It doesn't stop me showing up for myself in the way I need to. And that is a massive thing I was talking about in one of my other podcast episodes, coincidentally, about being the main character. Like, if you can show up consistently for the people in your life, where is the disconnect from showing up for yourself like that? You are the only one that exists in your body. So you've got to show up in your body, not just a passive observer, like somewhere in the background over here, like I'm watching myself and just seeing the world happen to me. Like, you kind of need to come back into your body and stop being a support role for every single person around you and actually start showing up as you need to for yourself. And if you don't know how to show up for yourself in that way, Maddy's got some great tips. Go for a walk, do your skincare routine, read a book, like, come back into yourself and come back into your present. And I think that's just so important to highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel as though people think that self-care has to be this really big, extravagant thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, when can we stop having this crazy stigma on self-care being like, you have to go on this whole ass holiday overseas for like 2 weeks and like that's self-care. Like, it can be if that's what it looks like for you. But if it looks like literally just getting up, making your bed and doing your skincare, so be it. Like, go on the walk, whether it's 5 minutes, like just do the things that fulfill your life. And I can assure you it will improve your day just that little bit more.
Exactly. And even on that, the skincare does not have to be a 12-step routine.
Oh
You
no.
can get out of bed, you can wash your face and put on some moisturizer, and that's your
That's
skincare
it.
routine. If that's
That's it.
obviously in Australia, absolutely put your SPF on.
Oh
um,
yeah.
and I guess probably in the UK too, but honestly, the grey of my days is just, yeah, a bit depressing sometimes. Um, but if your routine is literally just roll out of bed, make your bed, set up your workspace if you work from home, or have
Mm,
your clothes laid out, and just think of yourself in advance. Do your skincare for the night before, do your skincare in the morning. Like, put on a podcast as soon as you wake up so you don't sit on your phone and scroll
yeah.
TikTok for 3 hours before you actually need to like do anything.
Mm,
Those little things can be so instrumental to having a good day, and to having a day that's not filled with anxiety and not filled with like a negative mindset or a limiting mindset. If the first thing you do in your morning is, I don't know, say hi to your boyfriend in your bed or your girlfriend or whatever, roll over, pick up your phone, and then don't speak to each other for the next 45 minutes because he's checking the news or the sports, and you're on TikTok looking at someone else's morning routine, wishing you had your own. Like, how is that setting up your day?
oh yeah.
Not very
I'm
well.
I'm so huge on this, and I actually have made it like my 2023 goal. Well, not, okay, I don't like setting goals for the new year, but I do it anyway because I have hope in myself. Um, but yeah, I found that last year when I would wake up, go on my phone, I'm literally living my morning through everyone else's life. Like I'm not even in my own world.
That part.
And it just like it actually like whether you consciously or subconsciously think about it, like it's there and you're going to be thinking about it for the rest of your day. I actually heard this, I don't know where I heard this from, but someone said the first 30 minutes of how you spend your day will be an exact like forecast for how your day is going to look.
Yeah.
So if you're waking up, going on your phone, scrolling on TikTok and comparing yourselves to all these different people, mind you, it's just social media, so it's not even real.
Yeah.
But it's going to be like a complete detriment to your day.
Yeah, and you might not think that you're comparing. You might just be like, "Oh,
But you are.
I'm just interested in what everyone's up to and that kind of thing." Your subconscious thought is already like, oh, "I wish I had that. Oh, I wish I was doing that today. Oh, like why can't I be the person that does X?" You see someone getting up, and even if they're a healthy, kind person, they're getting up, they're going for their run, they're getting their morning coffee, they're checking into work or whatever. You're like, "Oh, I wish I got up this morning for a run. Oh, I wish I had a coffee right now." Like, it's just automatically, you
That's
don't think it's
comparison.
comparison,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
is. Just because you're not sat there thinking, "I wish I had her body," or "I wish I
Yep.
had her face," or "her hair's really nice." It's not just about an aesthetic thing. It's also
Yep.
about, "I wish I had her life."
Absolutely. And I actually posted on this last night on my Instagram. Because I was talking to my mentor about the things that I think aren't spoken about enough in the coaching industry. And I think that it's even I think in just social media in general. We see all these, that girl morning routines and all these stereotypical things, which don't get me wrong, I love that whole trend. I think it's
Yeah,
so nice. I'm all
I
here
will
for it.
consume the content, but
Oh, absolutely. But I think the thing that does need to shift is like why aren't they showing the days where they don't get up and read their book or they don't get up and meditate? Because we all have those days. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm here talking about that I love my skincare routine. I love my walks and everything. I have not gone on a walk in like over a week because I have an injured foot. I like the other day I woke up and I went on my phone. Like,
Yeah,
it's just life. It
yeah,
happens.
you are a human.
But it's about having like the integrity and having the responsibility, like taking that radical responsibility and being like, okay, where am I not showing up when I thought when I said that I would? And how can I shift that?
Hmm.
Like, what am I not doing that I want to be doing? And why aren't I doing
Yeah,
it?
and you can catch yourself in the moment as well. You wake up, you do go on your phone. 10 minutes in, you're like, "Oh, I was only going to like really quickly check this person's story to check this thing, and now I'm like seven people's stories in. Okay, let me stop here. Let me put my
Yep.
phone down. Let me carry on with my day." Like, you can catch yourself in the moment too. It's not a, "Oh, well, I've already watched seven people's stories, so let me now go watch the
May as well watch.
entirety,
Yeah.
the entirety of my Instagram stories." Like,
Yep.
you can actually catch yourself in the moment, and you don't have to villainize yourself for fucking it up a little bit and going, oh, well, I said I wasn't going to do that. So now my whole day is
I
off.
ruined my day. Yeah.
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 Like you can just be in a headspace where, okay, well, I probably didn't need to do that, but let's not shame myself. Let's move on. Put it to the
Absolutely.
side and let's move on with the rest of it. Because then if you decide to give up on doing your skincare routine, you decide you're not going for a walk before work this morning, you decide that instead of having that really nice, I don't know, overnight oats that you made last night with the great intentions, you're like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna order a Mackey's breakfast. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
then just begin to not take care of yourself in every way because you
Oh
forgot
yeah.
or didn't do what you were going to take care of yourself in the first way.
Yeah.
And you can just show up like consistently. If you've had a really shit day, when you get home, show up differently for yourself. Take care of yourself in the way that you want to.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
shift it on a dime. And I think it's stuck in people's heads that, okay, well, I fucked up once, so that's it. The week's ruined. If it's not a Monday, my week's ruined. I have to start again next Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you waiting 6 days for?
Yeah. Literally.
What are you waiting 2 hours for? Just do it now.
Absolutely. I was a creature of this. I was always someone that was like, okay, it's the new month. We're gonna start fresh. And like even me with the new year, I know it's just another day, but I do love to set new intentions because I feel like there is a bit of like an energy shift. But
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not a Monday person. I used to be a Monday person where I'd be like, yeah, today we're starting. Today we're doing it. But now it's just like, why can't I just start tomorrow? Like if I mess one thing up today, like today, if I woke up and I went on my phone, all right, tomorrow let's do better. Like, what can you do differently that will shift how you feel because you actually can control these things? And my water bottle literally says today is your day one because every day is day one. Like if you haven't, it's like when, everyone's setting their new year goals, they're doing their vision boards, they're doing all these things. If you haven't done yours yet, no need to shame for it. If you want to do it now. Like
Exactly. Do
you can do it at
your
any point.
February, do your
Yeah,
March. Like
exactly.
you don't have to only plan on either the 1st of January, the few days after or the few days before. You can actually plan whenever you want to. You can set goals whenever you want to. If you have goals for the next week until the end of January, set the goals. It doesn't have to be, okay, well, I can't set the goals until it's February 1st, and then I'll start. Well, what could you be doing in the next, I don't even know how many days to the end of the month, 6 days, I don't know, I'm guessing till the end of the month. What can you be doing in that 6 days
Yeah.
to get yourself set up even for the day you want to start doing this? Maybe it's like a course that doesn't run until April. Well, what can you be doing between now and April so that when you start that course in April, you are at the most optimum you can possibly get yourself? Where do you need mindset shifts that you can do on your own? Do you need to journal about something and get something off your chest? Do you need to set up those appointments that for your healthcare that you've been putting off? I know so many people that need to go see a doctor and
I'm one of those people.
Like,
I'm one of those people.
This is your body. Like, please take care of it. And obviously, I'm guilty of this too. Like, absolutely.
Oh, I'm gonna go book in my appointment after this.
Yeah, like it's just, this is your body, this is your temple, this is the thing that's going to carry you through the rest of your life. If you're doing stuff to your mindset to try and improve yourself, why are you letting your endometriosis and shit literally dictate your entire weekly schedule, your entire monthly schedule, because you are just too afraid to go get it actually sorted? There are things you can do, and if you keep waiting for the new day one, then how much further could you have been? Yeah, how much further could you have been to get to that point? Yeah, like it's so hard to think about when you just know, like in yourself and in the people around you, like if you just stop waiting, how much could your life shift between now and the date that you plan for it to happen?
Absolutely.
And yeah, instead of dwelling on the negative of like, why aren't we doing these things? Maybe let's give a tip for doing that thing. Do you have a tip? If not, I can go first.
I do. I think I have a couple. My first one is if you're putting something off, which I need to take my own advice here. There's this technique by Mel Robbins. It's the 5-second rule or something like that.
I love Mel Robbins. Yeah,
it's basically you just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you do the thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're laying in bed and you're like, I really don't want to get up.
Hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get out of bed.
Yeah.
Like you're actually shifting like the thought processes in your brain. I don't know
Hmm.
what it's actually called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Um,
you switch, I think, nervous systems or something. Yeah, I know
yeah,
exactly what you're on
yeah,
about. Yeah,
yeah,
it's such a good tip.
it is. And it just helps you to be like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna get up and do it. Like another tip from, I think it's James Clear in Atomic Habits, if it takes less than 2 minutes, get up and do it now.
Hmm.
Like if you need to go brush your teeth, get up and do it now. Stop scrolling on TikTok. Like
Yeah.
all the things that, you know, are actually not that big of a deal, we don't do.
Yeah.
Um,
My biggest one on that is leaving like piles of washing up. Like I hate
oh,
cleaning my dishes.
I'm the
It is
worst.
the worst, most monotonous task. I'm trying to like create a process so that it's meditative. I'm like, okay, let me listen to this podcast whilst I wash up, and like then I'm on a roll, then I like clean the sides and all that kind of thing. But if I let my plates pile up, it's just game over. I will leave them there until I have no cutlery, no dishes left. If I
Yeah.
can't eat, then I'll wash up. And that is something, if it takes 2 minutes, just do it now.
Absolutely. But yeah, my other tip would be to just celebrate yourself in the small wins. Like
Mhm.
hold yourself when something good actually happens. Like even if it's just like you got up and made your bed. Like
Mhm.
whatever it is, celebrate yourself. And this is something that I need to do more often. And I'm trying to get into the habit of like journaling every morning and writing down 3 things I'm grateful for, because have like actually shifting that mindset into, you know, seeing what you're grateful for around you, it actually helps you to see things in a complete different perspective as well.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think that would be my tips. Just celebrate yourself in anything that you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think we do that enough. Like,
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
plugging in with my mentor on Voxer, and like the tiniest thing that she thinks to celebrate me on, I'm like, what? We're
That's
celebrating
nothing.
that?
Yeah.
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 Like, and it's just, it was a bit confronting at first because she was honestly just celebrating me for actually posting some TikToks, posting some reels, because it took me so long to get to the point where I actually clicked post that
Yep.
she was so excited for me. And I was like, oh, this is really nice. Like
Yeah, it
someone's
is.
recognizing for me that I've done something that is good for me. And
Yeah.
why am I not doing that for myself?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like that little adrenaline rush when we celebrate ourselves. It's like, oh, okay, that actually feels good.
Yeah, exactly. And why would you not want to feel that a lot more often?
Oh,
You
for
do your
sure.
washing up. Okay, let's celebrate myself. I actually did the
It's
thing I
clean.
really hate doing. It
And
is
you
a
wake up to a
win.
clean house. Exactly. It's
Exactly.
amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.